Now, I know what you're wondering. What was it that was so engrossing that you wouldn't want to turn your TV off? Well, the Nhlanhla Commission started, and the first testimony came through from Gen Muanazi. He said a lot. In fact, he spent the entire day leading evidence under oath. So we know he wasn't lying, because if he was, that would have been against the law. Here's the thing. I personally didn't expect him to lie at all. And in fact, I always assumed that everything that he stated, he had evidence for, because even when he held the press conference, he issued part of that evidence.
Yeah.
He even said that there's more evidence to follow, and that there are other people that are willing to corroborate everything he stated there, right? That he represents a group of people, not just there by himself. What's more important, though, is who the evidence seems to implicate. And right now, it seems to implicate former police minister. Well, I suppose current police minister just suspended Sizwe Dhlomo.
I was going to say, are you firing him?
Yeah.
So, suspended police minister Sizwe Dhlomo. But here's the kicker, and this is where you need to kind of look very closely, right? The fact that Sizwe Dhlomo has not been fired should tell you something. But then you also need to go back a little bit and look at the police killing task force team. The political killing task force team. How was it formed? It was formed at the instruction of the president.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Then they formed an interministerial committee to oversee the work of this team. Right? So for Sizwe Dhlomo to silently decide on the 31st of December 2024 that he wants to disband this team, he would not have done that without consulting somebody.
Okay.
There's just no way he would have done that, right? Because yes, he represents the executive, but he's not the head of the executive.
Right.
Furthermore, if you look at what happened subsequent to that, the dockets were taken and sent to Pretoria.
Yes.
And then Mkhwanazi came out and complained about that in his press conference. What did the president say? He said, we're going to open up this inquiry. Then he himself appointed an acting police minister, and the acting police minister seemed to have been in support of those dockets staying in Pretoria. All of these things should tell you something if you read between the lines. And that thing is that even though the president has not been mentioned by name, he was aware of some, if not all of these shenanigans.
Right.
Either before they happened or after they happened, but even if it's after they happened, he still seemed to be in support of those things. Now, what does that mean? Well, for me personally, I believe that this inquiry will go on and we will get all the evidence that we need, but it's not binding.
Right.
So basically, after a while, we're just going to slide it over to the side and keep it moving. We had a state capture inquiry where we spent over R1 billion, almost R1.5 billion. I think it was 1.2. Zapumi Ndaba, Zakala. Till this day, not a single person has set foot in jail.
Yeah.
And that was binding. Imagine Lana. Lana just say,
we're passing time.
Yeah, what's that say, Lana? But yeah, it's fine if you got faith, Bali.
But that has always been the issue, right, Sizwe, when it comes to commissions, and even the public has even voiced their concerns when it comes to commissions of inquiry. Because, I mean, we're sitting here right now with the State Capture Commission, even though there's so much evidence, they were even told that this evidence can even go to the NPA and they can go ahead and prosecute whoever needs to be prosecuted. But at the same time, we're still waiting. There's serious allegations against a number of people, even some in the executive and in the cabinet, but nothing's been done about it.
I think to add to what Mali just said, these things just keep showing us that we are in a country where the government really doesn't care, because people can't keep telling you that do something about what is happening and then you don't. Like what you said just now, that we're just passing time. And it's so sad because here's a man who's coming with evidence. Do you know what it means to have files, receipts, and then nothing happens?
Well, so it's not that the government doesn't care, Stu, right?
Sure.
It is that some people, more than we'd like to believe, are implicated. So when you hear Mkhwanazi talk about the judicial system is on the brink of collapse, the evidence he led that is not enough to make that statement.
Sure.
He obviously knows a lot more than what he can prove.
Mm-hmm.
And we speak about this all the time, Mpo. Sometimes you just know things by being a journalist or by being in a space.
Yes.
You can't come on air and say it because you can't prove it.
Exactly.
Imagine being the person who investigates these things.
And for me, therein lies the problem. So he's got all of this evidence, but Nakona, you can't just, as you say, come out and say it, right? There are certain people that are probably, in inverted commas, untouchables. So sometimes you might want to give the evidence so that people kind of read between the lines. And for me, I see all of this with regards to the commission, but as a South African who, and I'm going to digress a little bit here, we've been talking about service delivery.
Yeah.
Here you are, in the space of 2 months, you could find 148 million that you're going to spend in the next 6 months.
Right.
But you couldn't do what is right for the people. But you can find money so that we just have great conversations. And maybe something will come out of it. Maybe nothing will come out of it.
In their defense, though, even in setting this up, they also had some stumbling blocks.
It doesn't
They
matter.
couldn't start on time.
Fact is, you could find the money.
No, the issue was never the money with service delivery. Nobody ever said the issue was money.
But my
The
point
issue is carrying it out. So there's work that needs to be done in service delivery.
But my point is, you are able to implement. You are showing us that when you have the will, you have the ability to implement.
Yeah.
But when you don't have the will,
So let me
Don't
tell you, for
implement.
example, right? Johannesburg, Gauteng specifically, is the economic hub of the country.
Right.
We've got water issues.
Yes.
The issue was never money. You can't, even if I give you $1 billion now, and I said, Mpo, naligi billion, ngifuna amanzi kusasa sensini. You won't be able to do that by tomorrow. It's not a matter of money. There's so much work that needs to be done. You need time, and perhaps I'd say you need maybe 7 years to rework the infrastructure to get to a point where you deliver.
but you were told about all of this, you didn't have the willpower. You didn't have the desire because it was not important for you at that time. For me, I see you guys talking about this whole commission. I'm like, this is just, let's be seen to be doing the right thing. That's what it's looking like to me.
But anyway, let us know what your thoughts are. The simple thing is this, right? It looks like the goose is cooked for Senzo Mkhunu. The first question is, do you think he will go down? Because a lot of people have been accused of things and they stay. As Mbali said, there are ministers currently whose names are in affidavits. So, but I mean, the president himself, Zamkhalela Batuseli. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if he does go down, do you think he's going down by himself?
Asithatha ngathi sibukele big brother Mkhwanazi. Sohlala nje sibuke nje ngoba siyazi ukuthi ngeke kwenzeke next ngeke kuboshwe nemuntu amacingwane. Hey, I want ukuthonga biyehla kanjani. Njengoba yonke into ikhomba kuye kanje. And into ebuhlungu yena akwazi ukukhomba lephezulu ngoba bephathi bakhe bangamqedela ubumnandi.
Yazi uzothola uhlambulali uyaqethuka nje. He's got no problem at all because he knows what he's got on everybody.
Khona malami sibonge for the topic yafandahe and sibonge amanye amagama wakhulumile ukuthi isazenzakala njengento efana ne-state capture and point of correction. State capture, I think babophe abantu abayi-2. Lela time lela se-Italy lela khipha amakigaba mama zasebusasa entontoni. Bese letha indaye kwaba nomunye wamhlakaza 2 years. Danko.
Oh yes, Angelo Agrizzi. Yes. And funny enough, you was also the first person to lead evidence.
That's very true.
Like so many commissions,